There's one of these fancy memes coming around on that those Facebooks that people love so much. This one they're calling Gravity Pocket. So go ahead and share this on Facebook and get this out here, because this is it popped up on Facebook, so it's probably gonna get flooded on YouTube. Recently, I just got 3 notifications for the same video, various versions of it. So here we go. Here comes Gravity Pockets.
Epic NASA fail.
Some of you may be familiar with the old experiment about the hammer and the feather. Well, in this case, our feather will be played here by this 4 of spades. And you may expect everything up here in microgravity to float, because most everything does float. However, sometimes something a little different happens. Sometimes you just might find a little pocket of gravity.
Kmart animation with some text-to-speech at the end, real quality stuff there. So I saw this video, and this is like total low resolution. I mean, it looks bad here, but even the original video is real low resolution. I tried to go by frame to see if I could see a wire or whatever, standard stuff. But I didn't see anything. So I found the original video, and it's a collection of transmissions or video logs from the ISS, and it's about this guy here, Richard Garriott. That may not be pronounced right, but it might be French or something. But anyway, he's this billion-dollar video game developer and entrepreneur, and he went on the ISS as a space tourist. He's not an astronaut. He's just a guy with money. And he went up there on the Soyuz. And let me see, it doesn't say when. Let me see. Okay, so this is 2008. So once again, this is like ancient news that, the flat earthers just, I don't know, man. They love finding this stuff out. I mean, think about all this, the time they spend on hunting down these video clips, to turn them into memes. Energy that could be spent doing better things. So this is Richard, and then this is his website. And these are his video logs, and they're out of order, and they're not really labeled sequentially or anything. So I watched them all, and I tried to put them back into a sequence to kind of figure out what's going on here. So this is what I came up with. I pulled 4 of the videos, and well, here we'll just we'll watch them.
Jack Fox from Northbridge House School asks, can you entertain yourself with a deck of cards, some magnets, a pen, and some Velcro? Well, it turns out that, yes, these are actually tools that I've been playing with here already quite a bit here on the space station. It turns out Velcro you need all the time, because Velcro you use to keep all of your other supplies from floating away. And for example, here with my pen, you'll notice a little blue spot of Velcro on the pen, and that's so that I can stick it to the wall and it won't float away. Even my deck of cards, which I've been playing with here too, my deck of cards has a little spot of Velcro on it. so that again I can stick it to my wall without losing it. And magnets are a great deal of fun in space because magnets line up with the Earth's magnetic field, and here, since I'm traveling very, very far to the north pole of this magnet is aiming almost straight down at the ground as we fly up and over Canada, which is very close to the northern magnetic pole. Similarly, if I pull these magnets apart, you can see how they attract to each other very nicely here in space. A deck of cards, in addition to trying to play cards, but playing cards in space is actually kind of difficult because as soon as you deal one out, they go flying all the way. But a deck of cards makes another interesting demonstration, which is you can use it as a nice satellite and demonstrate how when you spin things along their widest axis, this is called a maximal inertial axis, it flies very stably. If you spin a deck of cards along its thinnest line, its minimal axis, it flies very well. But if you spin a deck of cards or any other block rectangular object in anything other than its maximum or minimum axis, watch what happens. It actually will, oh, here we go, let me see if I can keep the camera here. It'll actually tumble. Do you see how it twists every now and then? That twist is a very unusual phenomenon that is true of spinning objects in space. So a deck of cards makes some very interesting games and demonstrations that you can do in space.
Video, and you see that he has the cards there, and he attached the Velcro and stuck it to the wall. So he's okay. So this next one is called a magic card trick.
Of doing magic in space is to figure out how to take advantage of the fact that we're here in microgravity, but not make the trick meaningless. For example, simply making an object levitate is a little too easy since everything floats up here. But a real trick would be to make the right thing float. So for example, let's take a deck of cards. And from this deck of cards, let's select a single card. For example, today, we use the 5 of hearts. Now if we take the 5 of hearts and we insert it into the middle of the deck, and take the deck and insert it back into the box, now, like I said, the trick about space is not how to make anything levitate, it's to make the right thing levitate. It may be no surprise that I can get the deck to rise out of the box. But it might be more of a surprise to see that I can make the 5 of hearts float out entirely.
He's performing magic tricks now. He's entertaining. That's all he's doing. He's just entertaining the crowd. He's not an astronaut. He's just a guy. He's a space tourist. He's not just a guy. He's a space tourist, you know. $1 billion space tourist. Actually, I believe he had his wedding on at 0G, the first 0G wedding. This wasn't on the ISS though. This was probably on one of the Vomit Comet. All right, and here's the soon-to-be infamous pockets of gravity.
Have you been familiar with the old experiment about the hammer and the feather? Well, in this case, our feather will be played here by this 4 of spades. And you may expect everything up here in microgravity to float, because most everything does float. However, sometimes something a little different happens. Sometimes you just might find a little pocket of gravity.
All right, that was a video of the pocket of gravity. All right, and then I found this 4th video. Most likely, like I said, I try to put these kind of in the sequence. It's it's kind of hard, but from what I gather, this would be the 4th video.
Here in space, surface tension takes over as the primary effector in the shape of a droplet of water, especially when I remove it from being influenced by other objects. Oh. These little drops of water I've just created take on a primarily spherical shape. And you'll notice that when it's suspended, oh, yucks. When it's suspended, pay no attention to that. They want me to target photographically Velagandu. Well, I have my trusty camera with me right here. I'll do my best to get you some shots. I've got my camera. I'll see if I can get you the shots. Here you can see that large waterway scrolling by on the Turk window. Here you can see that large waterway below me.
And that looks like just some like a B-rolls from the other videos and he's just entertaining, you know. He's doing card tricks in space, but you know, of course, this is all taken out of context in these wonderful videos that will probably be shared like the plague. Well, I don't really think we share the plague, but you know, it will be passed along like a cheap girl. Oh boy. So let's see what the comments we have here, if we have any comments yet. So go ahead and share this video or make your own. Yeah. See, I don't know. I mean, this is brand new. Well, not brand new stuff, but at least brand new on YouTube. And once again, the funny thing is, this is from freaking 2008. You know, almost 10 years ago. And there'll be people, oh, this is breaking news. I mean, it'll be ridiculous. So go ahead and share this. And I'm not on Facebook. I don't do social media. This is about as social as I get. So share, edit, whatever. Send them my way. I don't know. But it took me all of, I think 4 minutes to debunk this. You know, at first I was like, whoa, what the heck is this? What's going on here? And all I had to do was go through like the original video. She's like, no, it still shows discrepancies in NASA and whatever. And all I did was zoom in on here and look at the website, go to the website, look at the other video. But you know, that's all they got. You know, they just throw stones. That's all they have. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night or a day, wherever you are.